These ones were like my first actual cleat made.
You might have noticed a pop of color on Drey Jameson's feet. The pitcher sports custom cleats while tying in his favorite childhood cartoons.
I'm always into cartoons growing up, and I just thought it'd be cool to like start doing cartoon themed on my cleats. Yeah, it just kind of took off with it.
His first pair of turfs were Rick and Morty themed.
Came back and they're pretty sweet. And then they released a ban of like the cleats and what you could do on field, so then that's when I started.
Jameson linking up with Lucia Footwear, a New York-based designer boasting multiple big league clients, including reigning MVP Aaron Judge.
Through Instagram, I was just finding out who did custom shoes and that kind of stuff, and he popped up, and I like went through him, and this was 5-6 years ago, and now the kid's grown and he's blown up pretty big.
He was definitely one of the first guys that I worked with that actually reached the major leagues and then kind of continued working with us as, you know, he's been on that journey. He's just trusted me with every single idea he's had since he's made his major league debut, and I'm just super grateful for that. Just been super thankful for, you know, not just the relationship, you know, in work, but also kind of like a friend and someone who's recommended me to a bunch of his other teammates and other friends throughout the league. So he's helped grow the business more than most of the guys I'll ever work with.
But Jameson's passion for shoes is no new thing. In 7th grade, his mom used up his back-to-school allowance for a pair of LeBron James's signature shoes. Not long after, the Greenfield, Indiana native made the trip to the east side of Indianapolis to trade them for 2 pairs of sneakers.
And then it kind of like started rolling a little bit to where I was like kind of making money doing it, and this was in high school. And then when I got into college, I took it to another step and I started like really buying shoes. For me, it was just kind of like the thrill, the adrenaline of like trying to get that next good deal.
At the end of the 2023 season, Jameson injured his throwing arm and needed surgery, leading to more than a year-long recovery and rehab.
Having 15, 16, 17 months off of baseball, and I was going into the field early, I was done by noon, and it was just more of like, what can I do to like keep me occupied?
He discovered an app called Whatnot, a place to auction off rare and exciting collectibles.
I had like 450 pairs of shoes, and I was like, my collection is like insanely over like what these guys are selling. And so I was like, I'll just kind of dabble in it.
Dabbling turned into 13 hours on the app a week.
13 hours doing homework's a lot different though.
His side hustle, while sidelined, made him over $150,000.
And it kind of blew up. At first, no one knew who I was on the app, and then it kind of like started getting out on the app of what I did for an actual living. I also gave back a lot in that community, so I was always in other people's streams. You know, I would spend $2,000 to $3,000 in someone's stream and not take one item and just basically tell them to keep it.
While diving into his newfound sneaker-loving community, Jameson had to balance it with a brutal rehab.
Early on, it was really tough just because you have to basically see the light at the end of the tunnel, because it's like all I can do is do stuff in the weight room. That's the challenge I feel like within the, you know, the rehab process of like being able to stay on top of your stuff, doing your stuff every day, even when it's boring, that it's going to help you later on in your career.
But despite slowing down his sneaker selling, Jameson's love for kicks continues as he adds to his personal cleat collection.
So I'm going to do a Phineas and Ferb. Those are going to be my next ones. I want to do like an old school cartoon.
He says it could be Barney or the Teletubbies. In Reno, I'm Nikki Pica, Nevada Sportsnet.